Coming up in this Fincast, from sharks to whales to the ultimate vacation aquarium, all in the same day. Hey everybody, John here with another Fincast. Today we are in Bimini, the Bahamas. Fly fishing right now. Maybe we'll catch a barracuda or something here on the beach. Later we'll be out on the boat. Sometime during this trip, we'll catch some fish and put them in an aquarium just long enough to look at them and take some pictures and show you some of the beautiful fish on the reefs out here around the Bahamas. This is so cool. But right now, I just like to feel one on the end of my line. Lost a barracuda first thing, cut me off, put on a better leader, and now, of course, there's no more barracuda. All right, no bonefish this morning, no barracuda, but we are now headed out on the B-Radical, and we'll see if we can't catch some other fish. And I promise by the end of this Fincast, you will see some of these beautiful reef fish in an aquarium. But I am so excited. Yesterday we killed it on mahi, and today, who knows?
Well, we're headed to the Bahamas, and we've got our Chemi-pure blue to see if we can make it even clearer water. The head Fincaster's here, John Carlin.
We are going to document the clarity of the water on YouTube. Well, that's Jeff Turner of Chemi-pure clowning around, which he can do because it's his boat and honestly it's his company. And we were out on his boat. It's the B-Radical, 42-foot Hydrosports, unbelievable boat with 4 300 horsepower outboard engines. And we took it across basically from Miami to Bimini in the Bahamas. As I mentioned a moment ago, we had killed it fishing for mahi the day before, but now we were headed out again, and it was going to be a hot day. We knew that, and fishing, as it turned out, on day 2 was very slow. Again, it was hot, and I knew this was going to be a long day in the sun before we might jump in and snorkel in search of those aquarium-sized fish that I mentioned and promised to you. But the most important thing is we had to catch dinner first, and we're pretty good at that on this boat. Jeff is an excellent captain. He knows all the places. He's spent a lot of time in this area throughout his life, but we were trolling without success. And after all the action yesterday, it seemed a little anticlimactic. But then just when it seemed like maybe the day might be lost and it might just be another hot day in the sun, we saw something on the horizon. Whales.
That away.
We've been watching them. We've been about 600 yards out. Now we're about 100. All right.
Take it off.
Look at the size of that thing. Holy cow. But I got to tell you, fishing's really slow. I kind of feel like we're in no man's land, but seeing those whales was awesome. I mean, that was, for a guy that lives in Virginia, that's cool. So the whales were great. I mean, how often do you get a chance to see the whales out there just as sort of a bonus for your day on the ocean? And remember, if you're a fish guy, whether you're fishing or an aquarium guy, or in my case, both, and you're out on the ocean, it's kind of like you're on a marine safari, but you can't predict, especially in the Bahamas, that you'll be seeing whales. So that was really cool. But of course, the problem is I'm trying to do a video here to show you the ultimate vacation aquarium, and those whales are not going to fit, if you'll forgive me, in a 4.5-gallon fish tank. So our plan had been to gather some fish to show, but after the heat, the slow fishing, we were kind of hoping that maybe we would be more successful when we got out on the reef, hoping to snorkel in some of the shallow areas out there. And ultimately that would prove hard, which is kind of odd because the fish under the dock back in port seemed so close you could just reach down and net them. In the Bahamas, it's crazy because There's an aquarium right off your dock. Looking at some Atlantic blue tangs right there. Some Sergeant Majors. There's parrotfish. Unfortunately, when you're there at the dock, it's not just the little fish that gather. We saw sharks every night, some of them literally as big as me. Didn't feel particularly threatened by the sharks while we were standing on the dock, and these in particular that we saw mostly were nurse sharks, but we talked to the regulars there and they say that bull sharks come in and some of the other species that are known to be more aggressive. Despite that, I decided I would try and feed one of the nurse sharks. Oh, dude, looking for a nurse shark. Let's see if we can find one. Come on, buddy. We got a big shark, and we got a big, what's left of a dolphin. Come on, here we go. Here comes something. I think it's too big.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. Boom. But still, knowing that those sharks were around and kind of, you know, in big numbers, it seemed a little safer out on the actual reef than it did diving at the dock. It's one thing to feed those sharks. It's another to jump in the water with them. No, thank you. So back out on the reef, we knew we would find even prettier fish, and yeah, I absolutely love this. We knew that the fish would be there. Snorkeling and looking down, you talk about the ultimate vacation aquarium. Well, of course, there it is. You can't have this in your house, but if you're ever fortunate enough to go out on the reefs in the Atlantic or other parts of the world where we have tropical reefs, you need to do this. But seeing those fish was one thing, catching them was another. It's not that easy when you're snorkeling, and we were in anywhere from 4 to say 12, maybe 20 feet of water. That's me trying to help right there. I'm afraid I'm not very good at it. I don't do it very often, and I don't know the fishing techniques, and I can't hold my breath and I can't dive like Dylan and Nick, who seem like they have gills. And they were actually wearing weight belts so they could go down to the bottom and stay there a little longer, and it seems like they can hold their breath forever. But ultimately, they caught some beautiful fish.
Jeff, come over here.
Dylan, what do you got there?
I got a tang, and I also got a tiny baby butterfly fish.
Nice.
And Jeff told me that I don't know how to use tropical nets, but I think I did better than him.
This is going in our little fish tank for fincasters. How they look, Jeff?
Oh, they look great.
Nice.
There's a little
You got about a 12-pound or more on either boat.
doctor fish.
Uh-huh.
And then he said he's got a 4-inch butterfly. I don't see. Oh, there he is. Oh, is he cute or what? Now we can catch them, but we have to let them release. We can't bring them home.
Coming in.
So once the fish were in the boat, by now it's late afternoon, we got back to the dock as quickly as possible. We set up our display aquarium, did the unboxing right there on the cleaning station where people fillet the fish when they come in from their fishing trips. Jolene Turner, Jeff's wife and the co-owner of the boat, made our little background pretty. She brought in some greens to put behind the aquarium and actually looked nice. We added some sand from the beach, which was right beside us, some other miscellaneous stuff, because we wanted the fish to be able to have a place to hide, and we wanted the aquarium to be somewhat decorated. This wasn't a huge undertaking, but that's not the point of it here, right? We added some water from right beside the dock and added the fish, and they were happy almost immediately, really. They were swimming around, they didn't seem stressed.
Today we got off Bimini, caught him off in tropical nets, a blue-headed wrasse. These things are really hard to catch, very, very fast. Beautiful though.
Got another little tang?
Yep, here's a little tang. This guy's kind of gray.
Put it in the water. Let him swim out.
Very happy. What you got?
A butterfly fish, caught right off Bahamas.
Is that a four-eyed?
Yep, four-eyed
butterfly. Okay.
Little sharp-nosed puffer. He's a quick one. Look at him, he's so cute.
That little four-eyed butterfly fish, that's my favorite fish.
Yeah, no, that fish was hard to catch. I did not expect that. I did it on accident too. I caught him.
I'm happy I caught the puffer. Definitely my favorite fish in there.
He's cute. Those little sharp-nosed, they got such character.
He's my homie.
Of course, at this point, we didn't need to worry about filtration or lighting or any of the other aquarium things because we were just giving them fresh, clean water regularly. And again, we're talking about the time it took to do take these videos is somewhere around, say, half an hour. So these fish were not in any danger of being stressed out by lack of filtration or anything like that. And one of the reasons that we want to do this is because I feel like the fish from the Caribbean are often overlooked in the hobby. Most of the fish that you see in the hobby come from the Indo-Pacific area, and we've been out there all day, and the fish are absolutely gorgeous. Of course, this is much too small for what we're going to do today. I want to point that out. You might be able to keep one fish in this tank for an extended period of time. Of course, Jeff has been diving in this area most of his life, and he knew a lot about the fish that we had.
I caught my first Royal Grama at about 9 or 10 years old, right on the edge of the wall. I remember it clear as day. And now, today, we're celebrating with the kids out here, collecting some more tropicals. However, we have to release them because we can't bring them back to the States. And we've got a yellow tang, a sharp-nosed puffer, nice little damsel, four-eyed butterfly, a small little parrot down here. Just very exciting. There's a wrasse in the aquarium.
We've already released a couple of the fish that were looking just a little bit stressed. We didn't keep them out of the water very long, and we did everything we could to make sure that they were very happy. But this is not a fish tank. There's also a parrotfish in there that I would recommend for anybody at home. I just want to say that straight up. This is a tank with some fish that are difficult to keep. Four-eyed butterfly fish are beautiful, extremely difficult to get them to eat. Parrotfish can be very hard to get them to feed in captivity. I have kept the Atlantic blue tang with moderate success. The little sharp-nosed puffer actually does very well and is what I would describe as reef safe or reef safe with caution. So those are fish that you could keep. Here are the fish we caught today. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I was hapless. So then the big decision is, okay, are we going to release all these fish and put the aquarium back in the box, or are we going to bring it in the condo so we can enjoy the fish for a couple of days? Because, right, it's the ultimate vacation aquarium. Ultimately, we decided that yes, we would bring the fish tank inside. Of course, everyone there is an aquarium professional. We certainly know how to take care of fish in a fish tank. It was easy to do water changes, and honestly, we had Dylan and Nick, so we had some strong backs and some young labor. Thank you guys. So they could bring in buckets. We were able to do water changes fairly easily. And I've done this before with my family throughout the years, maybe at a beach in North Carolina, catch a couple of pompano in the surf, or whatever we were fortunate enough to catch, certainly no fish as pretty as these, and put them in a 10-gallon tank. And fewer fish than we had in this tank, but to keep that tank functioning with water changes throughout the week. And that was always fun for the kids, and my brother-in-law Mike and I honestly enjoyed it, probably, if I had to admit it, probably even more than the kids. So that you can do a vacation aquarium if you're on vacation and you're at the shore. And this was kind of the ultimate vacation aquarium. We really enjoyed it. Of course, it's not whales.
Oh my God! That might be my biggest Truda.
It's not like catching some of the big fish when we were fishing for dinner, but aquariums make your life better, even when you're on vacation. And here's the ultimate example. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Fincast.
We are fishing in 74 feet of water off the beautiful Bahamas. And I just dropped down a nice little lead with the squid. Caught this beautiful queen triggerfish. Look at the vibrant purple and blue, greenish yellow colors. Beautiful. People have these in aquariums too. Let's let them go.